You may notice a few things different between this and my other videos. Right now, I'm actually on my way to go see Rush live with my buddy Joel, who you may recognize from the Exterminating Angel video if you've actually, sat down and watched my stuff, in which case, dear Lord, you must be bored. Anyway, yeah, today I'm going to be talking about the cult of the Pythagoreans, or Pythagoras. Basically, yeah, he worship numbers. He's all about the blending of science and philosophy, philosophy, or whatever. Not much else I can say. Let's just dive right in. The first question that the book gives me is, in what sense did the Pythagoreans combine philosophy and religion? Well, A, they worshipped science in the sense that they worshipped math. They thought that math, numbers made up reality, which kind of makes sense. If you think of it from a video game developer's perspective, everything is made of numbers because you got to make a point, and then you got to make a line, and then you got to make a whole bunch of other lines that come out of that point that ends at that line, until you've got an entire virtual reality. That's how they make it. Pythagoras would have jizzed his pants if he could see how video games are made today, because he's like, holy crap, you're making little realities out of numbers. So yeah, he liked that. So since they worshipped religion, worshipped science, it was kind of like a religion, in that in order to get salvation, you had to do something like purification of your soul through gaining mathematical knowledge, that kind of crap. Which brings me to my second question. What did the Pythagoreans mean when they said reality is mathematical? Why did they believe this? I kind of already touched on that. They thought that reality was made up of numbers because everything can be measured. Everything has a certain, space that it occupies, and if you were to take the time, you could measure every angle, every aspect, and you could say that because each and everything can be measured and numbered, reality can be made up of numbers. Makes sense, right? Number 11. Why are the Pythagoreans called metaphysical dualists? Metaphysical dualism is like when you take two opposing forces that are supposed to run the universe, something like that. Kind of like Zoroastrianism. They believed that, since math is God, then since math is logical and ordered, then the universe must be logical and ordered, so there's got to be two different halves, right? They thought of good and evil, odd and even, male and female. Apparently female falls on the evil category, so that speaks volumes about what they thought about women, which interestingly enough seems to continue in this day and age, because the majority of philosophy majors and professors are all male and there's hardly any females. It's like a great big sausage fest. So yeah, there's that. Number 12, what was the Pythagorean view of the soul? They had this weird reincarnation thing going, where they believed that once you die, your soul migrates to the nearest not living thing or something like that, and you live again there. And the only way to stop this cycle of life from happening again and again was to purify your soul through knowledge of philosophy and numbers and all that crap. This cult had some really weird weird rules. Admittedly, the first thing I ever learned about Pythagoras was from the 3-minute philosophy stuff that you guys might have seen on YouTube already, and if you haven't, I suggest to go watch it because it's good stuff. I learned from that guy that apparently you had to share all your ideas that you would generate about mathematics with Pythagoras, and he would generally take credit for all of them, and if you kept your mouth shut, it was punishable by death. So it was kind of you will compute pi or you will die kind of thing. I don't know. So yeah, their view of the soul is that it could only be purified and transcendent if you knew enough about philosophy. Okay, and last question about the Pythagoreans was, in what ways were they innovative? I gotta refresh my memory a little bit here because I'm in the car.
Two-base number system.
Yeah, two-base number system.
Square roots.
And square. Thank you, Joel. I look smart now.
And they use math where nobody else did.
They used math when nobody else did. Yes, I take credit for this. So they were the first to imply the concept of cosmos, which means order or fitness or beauty to the universe. Like, we call the universe the cosmos because Pythagoras came up with it. He is also the first guy in history to call himself a philosopher, which means lover of wisdom. So that's kind of innovative. They realized that metaphysical theory has a serious bearing on your own life. They were all about, trying to understand this stuff so you could better yourself. Even if, your existence was just to compute pi for Pythagoras, and if you took credit for any of the ideas he had, he put you to death. Or if you came up with like a really bad idea, he put you to death. A lot of death involved. That's why it's a cult. Anyway, yeah, that's all I've got on the Pythagoreans, and this is going to be heavily edited by the time I'm done, because you would not believe how hard this is to do in a car. Yeah, until next time, I guess. Bye. We're going to see Rush. It's going to be awesome. Yes, Rush is awesome.